Meditations. Meditations with Marcus Eulalia from Global South. There's something I wanted to talk about from maybe 2 weeks ago, and I always forgot. Once I said I was missing something, and now I remember. But first I want to register this, that I like my neighbor Miriam. It's not my first Miriam. It's not the first Miriam in my life. The first one, it was in Rio de Janeiro when I was 9 years old or 7 years old, something like. She was pretty much. They both are brunettes. They're both are brunettes, and well, maybe the Brazilian was hotter. And I actually kissed her, but I was so unexperienced that I got a lot of shame and run away. That was the truth. Actually, she kissed me on an empty room, room, and I just run away like a baby girl. Because I was 7 years old, something like. Well, and that's the first thing I wanted to say, that I knew my name. Well, I guess I will be forever a baby girl who don't know what to do with women. But actually I do had an experience, and let me tell you, capitalism is terrible for romantic relationships. So that's why I have no interest in women, actually. So Global South and capitalism killed my passions. Like Brazilians will said, kill my passions. So now I'm I'm a dog guy. Look, dogs loves me. I love dogs. There's no expectations. The only thing we want is 5 cats. It's wore down cat. There was a kid saying, "Hey, cállate!" I don't understand what that boy is saying. He was saying coca, coca. The boy is already a junkie. Poor boy. I bet that boy will not live for so long, because he is like 5 years old asking for coca. What a sad view. She was saying coca, coca, but it's not cocaine. Well, I knew the Miriam, my neighbor names, and why I'm reluctant with relationships, because I know what happens, the frustrations, and that's it. Well, there's no space for loving. There's no possibility for loving capitalism, I guess. And that's it. Our life is like a walking dogs. Dogs don't Dogs don't think about capitalism. They just follow the pack, find some cat to fight, and that's it. So I guess I'm going for a helmet I saw. I'm gonna cut the video because it will take me 20 minutes. So in some point I'm gonna. Well, Miriam is so hot actually, and I knew her name just because the condominium director, condominium leader tells the name. Well, this is a old woman, looks like old women knew everything. I guess that old woman knows that I like Miriam. I like also some other young babies from here, but that's another thing. As capitalism is a completely frustrating. Young babies are worst, are even worse, because the frustration is even bigger, I guess. Ay, Milou. I will start pushing Milou. So the other thing I want to tell, I'm gonna say just one moment. There were no bad guys. It was just people from my generation drinking alcohol, and well, the important thing I want to tell is not against love. It's not against capitalism. Well, it is against capitalism. I'm reading. It's just some criticism against myself, self-criticism, because I'm reading a translated book, the history of the Russian Revolution by Leon Trotsky. And well, I guess translations are not so good, but in this case it is. It's not the first time I read a translated book, but at some point I am dominating English, I guess, Spanish and Portuguese. I made my mind to never read any translation. Well, I don't speak French, and neither Russian. I don't know if I guess. Well, I will see that, but it looks like Trotsky wrote that book and everything in Russian, I guess, and someone translated. Why? But in this case it's geopolitics. So yeah. Oh, it's so good to talk. The things are important to ourselves, like depending on the genre of the book, like the history of the Russian Revolution is not literature. It is history. It is geopolitics. In some way, economy and philosophy, I guess. No, it's more like history. So there's nothing happens with translation. I will. You will not lose anything, because the value is not the way in which the text is written. So that was my problem with translated literature books. Understand? In my opinion, you cannot translate a literature writer, because in an extreme case you cannot translate poetry. That's the absurd, isn't it? How you can translate poetry? You can try, but you will have to explain a lot of things, and poetry is the music, the rhythm. So the best thing you can do is listen the original and see some comments in some language you understand. But that's for poetry. But for literature, I guess some writers they write carefully. They books, and that's why you cannot translate them, because the syntax, the specific words, I guess. Well, so this is a gradient, I guess. You cannot translate poetry. You maybe cannot translate literature, but definitely you can translate. You can translate politics. So that's where I am, reading the history of the Russian Revolution, and I was feeling bad because this was not the original. But right now, talking to myself, I got this conclusion right here in Monte Donico. Nah, this is the sixth sector.